But let's bring in our panel now. Joining us is Vimlendu, environmentalist and CEO of Green the Map. Bhavreen, Kandhari, member at Warrior Moms, and Sujata Pandey, activist, is with us. I promised to stay on this issue yesterday. I'm sticking to my promise. I've come back to the matter to address it again today. Of course, there's an update as well. But I want to give the first word to Sujata Pandey there. Sujata, you know, I'm very worried. Extremely worried on how year after year the air quality only seems to be getting worse. We are this time around, because of the floods, stubble burning has not even begun. We are already in the poor category. What has changed in the past 5 years that the government had to go and ask the Supreme Court to allow crackers at all? It only brings down by barely 30%. That's if it's implemented. That's if it's the right green cracker. There are so many riders when it comes to this. I'm really struggling to understand how this will be implemented.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for calling me today, and good evening to all my fellow panelists also. So first, let's look at this entire firecracker, activism in a selective, hypocritical manner. You know, in a democracy, when you ignore people's sentiment and faith and only pretend to be an environmentalist, only when a Hindu festival comes, I would call that as selective activism, not an environmentalism, love or whatever for that matter. Secondly, you spoke about pollution. You know, the Delhi crackers cause only actually lesser than 7% of the total pollution caused by the industries, the vehicle pollution, the stubble burning. So this decision of the Supreme Court is a balance, and I'll tell you in points how it is a balanced decision and why government went for the green cracker. Now, I'll begin with number one. One is that this decision balances both faith and fundamental rights, because it recognizes that no matter how much you ban, you put how much ever the policies that you want to, people you're not going to follow because they deserve to celebrate their festival in this country, which is a fundamental right under Article 25. But they also deserve to have access to a clean air, as you rightly mentioned. So the court balanced it and said, okay, I'm going to specify a timeline in which you can burn this cracker in the morning from 6 to 7, 6 to 8, and in the evening 8 to 10. And let's just balance both. So it did not choose in selective activism or selective outrage. It called, and then it focused on.
Can I point out? You said it's only for Hindus. Do you know since when the ban is by the Supreme Court? It was all year long. From 2020 when they intervened, it was all year round. It was not specifically for Diwali. It was not specifically for anything else. They said complete ban all year round. So nobody is getting after Hinduism.
Okay, so can I just, but don't you hear that these debates do not happen during Eid when there's an animal slaughter on the roads? I live in Mumbai, where my entire society is filled with cut heads of the animals who I would love to protect. But can I even raise a voice? No, perhaps because I will be, probably booked under some blasphemy or something like that. But anyways, I'm not getting into that. What I'm trying to say is that, has to be a middle path, Sonal. You need to look at that you have to choose science, not sentiment-based, outrage. Because the court said that, okay, use only NERI certified green crackers, which have by data shown that, okay, 30 to 35% of the emission will be down. The sound decibels of 125% will be down. So at least we are beginning with something. You saw last time what happened. There was a complete ban, and people went on and they said, okay, this is a repression. This is not something that you are regulatory, because people went out and put it on the social media. So clearly they were not afraid of burning crackers. They were ready to go to jail also. So what does the government do? The government has to find a middle path, and that is why government went for the green crackers. I know it is not 100% solution, Sonal, but then 100% solution is not even like, why are we even living in Delhi? We should go to a forest and start living in the kind of how the ancient civilizations used to live. We should stop traveling by cars. We should stop using ACs. We should stop using this digital media. We should stop using AI, which is going to be a bigger threat for all our water resource because of the lack of the
Ma'am, are you telling me countries that have all of it all face air pollution problems? Are you telling me countries that use AI, have digital solutions, are progressive, they all have air pollution problems? Let's be very clear, ma'am. Let's not, there is no binary answer here. Come on, let me give Vimlendu Jha a chance. You've spoken, I've heard you.
No, you have not let me finish.
Okay, take
Just give
30
me,
more seconds.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
take 30
yeah,
more
30 more.
seconds. Fine.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying, Sonil, didn't have any, but either we could do a total ban or we could give total freedom. The court choose a middle path. It sets out to at least, determine to set a model for responsible celebration of, festivals. It said that, okay, with technology, with advancements, with current situations, you can
Okay.
choose to celebrate responsibility. This is what exactly was the intention of the government and the intention of
Sure.
the court. You tell, if you had any alternate solutions, please, I'll be all ears to hear that.
Vimlendu Jha has an alternate solution. I want to give him a word to come in and speak about this. Mr. Jha, you heard Mr. Pandey. I think the point, a lot of stuff that she said could be debated, but I think what she's right about is the fact that even when there was a complete ban, there was massive flouting of rules. So when that's the case, it gives no confidence to the government to say that, and the court has said what? The court has said smuggling was happening. Now let's put a process in place. Isn't that something that's welcome?
So, Sonal, based on that logic, as in just because people violate the traffic rules, there should not be any rules at all. And then a classic case of whataboutery is what we've heard from Ms. Pandey, as in the first thing that she said that, people like us or people or children who were the main petitioners, by the way, 5 years ago, when they said that my right to breathe is more important than right to celebration, as in we're saying that, oh, well, these are all pretentious, these are all people with agenda. And she also said, oh, well, why do we not speak otherwise? Madam, we speak through the ear. For you, it could be a matter of sentiment. For me, my sentiment is attached to the lung size and the health of the child. For me, that is more
Okay,
important. My Ram survives in every child and their well-being, and not just in
I would
bursting
come
of
to that.
firecrackers. And I should,
Let him speak.
okay,
I'll come
okay,
back to you.
madam,
This
okay,
is not the kind of debate where we have to shout. We have enough
yeah.
time. We'll hear
So,
I'm not
everybody.
shouting.
So deep breaths. Yeah, deep breaths and let's hear.
yeah.
I'll come to everybody. Don't worry.
Deep
Don't worry.
breath
Yes,
and
Mr.
wish.
Jha. Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the only
Deep
problem is
breaths
that
if you
that
can
deep
afford to
breath
take
that we
some.
are
Yeah.
talking, yeah, deep breath that we're talking about, and that's the breath away that the Supreme Court has taken in really in idea of justice. There's nothing called balancing act. The Supreme Court is not supposed to do balancing between sentiment and faith and health. It's very clear that we are in 2025, where science should govern our policy. And last 5 years and 10 years, as in I always say that a lot of air quality governance or environmental governance of our country is done by the courts of our country, which should not happen, because one day there'll be a chance when the courts of our country, when they get so deep into governance, it can be damaging. And today, exactly what we've seen. It's very, very regressive a decision taken by the Supreme Court, where it's actually forwarded the agenda of one kind and completely ignored the health, the public health. By the way, we're not even talking about environment. We're only talking about public health. At
Yeah.
Delhi's baseline, and imagine such is the irony that 240 Delhi's air quality is already poor, and
Yeah.
that
We are
day the
in grab
Supreme Court
one.
says,
Yeah.
please, you are allowed to make it more poor because I don't want to hurt your sentiments. And my sentiments, tell me one thing, in my family, my ailing child, that sentiment, or my idea of Fulgari and more toxins of a greenwashed firecracker. So somewhere, in love for this entire fundamentalism and fanaticism, and not even understanding what is faith and what is humanity, people really, say things that they should not be. At the end of the day,
So is
interest of
it,
people.
yeah, faith versus humanity? It is about science versus sentiment. I think that's where the debate is really going over here. I want to give Bhavreen also a chance to sort of come in. Bhavreen, you are part of the mums and the group that actually petitioned in the Supreme Court. Now, the question is valid. When I was a child, I'm sure when you were growing up as well, we looked forward to Diwali. I totally understand when we say that today the fact is I can't give my child the same experience. But I have to choose between my child's, the experience that she gets versus the health that she will live with for the rest of her life. Now, are you torn sometimes? And what is your reaction to the Supreme Court order where they're saying that they've struck a balance?
It's yes, Sonal, I hear you, I feel you, and these are the kind of messages, hundreds and thousands of messages. I'm sorry, I don't agree at all with my co-panelist here, and of course, she's more on the front of rather, I would say that she's absolutely unpragmatic, and I will just go on terms of legally of how the Supreme Court has. See, it's not now. It's not about crackers. It's not about clean air. It's about not about forests. It's the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the right to clean air is part of the right of life, right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution. And now, when they themselves, when they bring in green crackers, which are known, which have now been proven to emit particulate matter or the gases or metals, whatever, they are themselves compromising that right. So the court cannot simultaneously now uphold a constitutional right for health and also,
So will you be
want
challenging
to.
this order then?
Well, these orders are not, there's a huge amount of technical, problems with it. Now, I want to add something here, which we've been saying for a while, rather because, we've all lost so much faith, that the trust in, justice and the judiciary it's lost because it's not about 1 month or 2 months or years, for years. In 2015, we this petition, when the toddlers filed this petition with a very emotional petition that came up with on right to breathe, and all our children, who were suffering, and between all of us,
Yeah.
I think we were all, had some story, something to say there. So it's a personal. Whenever you're saying mothers or citizens, it's a personal thing. There's no thing when a mother has to rush out to a hospital, or a parent has to be your senior citizen parents have to be taken somewhere. So it's to a hospital in the night. The data is clear. There are pediatric wards which are absolutely full on Diwali nights. And here, like you said, thanks Sonal for correcting, the panelists, that it's not even about Diwali, it's about crackers. It's about throughout the year. It's celebrations, it's about processions, it's about weddings, it's about cricket matches. So what about the ban? The last months were all banned until today. But we've heard crackers every alternate day, single day.
Absolutely.
We have complained about it and nothing has happened. So that itself shows
So it gives you,
enforcement
actually as a citizen, it gives you very little confidence that even this will be applicable, this will be enforced.
Absolutely.
As,
We've
and
lost
I've
that
been
trust.
that one citizen who every time the cracker went up, I was calling to say, this is the ban, please ensure it doesn't happen. But it's never enforced. I want to come to Sujata Pandey, but before that, we are getting a reaction from Parvesh Verma. Let's listen into what the Delhi government had to say, who actually petitioned to the court to allow the green crackers to come in. Let's listen in.
मैं सभी दिल्ली वासियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं इस बात के लिए कि आपने दिल्ली में अच्छी सरकार चुनी और ये हमारी सरकार के प्रयास सफल हुए। हमारी मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा था कि इस बार दिल्ली को बिना पटाखों के दिवाली नहीं मनाने देंगे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी हमारे प्रयासों को सराहा है और दिल्ली में जो सरकार द्वारा प्रदूषण को ख़त्म करने के लिए कदम उठाए हैं, बहुत ही अच्छा फैसला दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए आया है। अब बिना किसी टेंशन के, बिना किसी चिंता के सभी हम जो है ग्रीन पटाखे जलाएंगे और अपनी दिवाली को और भी सुंदर मनाएंगे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले का मैं बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं, दिल्ली वासियों को बधाई देता हूं।
जी, मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं मानयोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, जो उन्होंने 8 साल बाद इस फैसले को बदला है। दिल्ली के अंदर अब शाम 6 बजे से लेकर रात के 10 बजे तक का पटाखे चला पाएंगे और इन पटाखों को ग्रीन पटाखे होंगे, इसकी चिंता हम करेंगे। हम अभी तुरंत बैठक बुला रहे हैं। बैठक बुलाकर ये सुनिश्चित करेंगे जो माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है उस फैसले को लागू करें।
I think just a quick correction there. I don't think Mr. Sirsa got that right. I think it's 6 to 7 in the morning and 8 to 10 in the evening, just to get those timings right. Which brings me to who's bursting crackers at 6 o'clock in the morning, I want to know. Sujata ji, are you bursting crackers at 6 o'clock in the morning? I've been wondering where that came from.
So that's why I said it's a balanced decision. The court knew that a middle path had to be found. And that's why it chose a timing which is perhaps, morning. Who would burst the crackers? So probably that you can absolutely think that people would not to burst the crackers. The only time left is 8 to 10, which in my opinion, a lot of people will be busy in doing pujas and things like that, specifically for Diwali. So the window gets, decreased or even limited to 1 hour or so. So that is why I said it is a selective activism, because somebody mentioned here and they called me hypocritical, but let me just expose their selective activism about the lungs of the children. I am a mother too, and I know that the lungs disease in children by data is not caused by the firecrackers alone. The 51% of it is caused by the factories, the pollutant that goes on in the air 365 days in a year, 24/7. And I do not hear one environmentalist coming out to say, let's shut these factories. They are the ones who drive in diesel cars and live in the AC car, and they'll say, oh, बहुत pollution हो रहा है. First start living. They are the ones who will send their children in the school bus, which run on the diesel, and they'll say, oh my God, my school children are going to be affected. They are the ones who will send the school children the schools which are full of ACs, the classroom full of ACs, that their children are not even exposed to sunlight, and then they'll say, oh my God, I'm worried about my children's health. So this is why I said it is a double standard. Now, this is why I said that why it is a balance. Let me come back to the point and not just pinpoint. Why is I feel that this decision is going to be a starter. Nothing is on perfection, Sonal. We have to find a point where we can start. The court choose the right root problem. It questioned and made people accountable for enforcing the law. Last time these bans were there. I come from Delhi. And I see people like going all over the crackers. They were not even afraid what will happen to them. So the court made sure that the responsible personnel, be it police, be it the administration, make sure that no smuggled crackers enter Delhi NCR. There are no online sale of the crackers, and all of that. And there's just why are we even like we have to start?
Okay, let me get a response to that. Let me
which is not possible.
Sujata ji, let me get a response to that. So Bhavreen, which car are your kids using now? And are they constantly in AC? I first want to get that.
No, first of all, the kids are, studying now. They're in
They go in.
We are not going to get into this personal. What is it that what is it that you do? I want to hear my panelists what she does on other
Sujata ji, बताने तो दीजिए.
You started it.
We are all working on.
One second. Let Bhavreen, no personal remarks. Now let's be a little civil about this. Okay, time out. Okay, time out. Let's cut the mics. Let me go to Vimlendu. If this is going to happen, we'll cut the mics.
You ever in this space? I have never seen this lady before this ever saying or doing anything. She must be doing some plantation drive, maybe with the government somewhere, some photo ops. I'm sorry, because you're speaking that you're bringing us speak to you. We are people working on clean air. Clean air means vehicular emissions. It means compliances. It means waste to energy. It means waste management. It means industrial. It means everything for us. Crackers means crackers. It doesn't mean you're so torn apart between your festivities and your thing that I as a mother, it's a shame if I say that I want my children to breathe this toxicity as to balance. I want to balance it with enjoy all this enjoyment, whatever terms are being used, nonsensical terms on their public.
1 second, Sujata ji, you are. 1 second. So can I just speak one thing which I have been witness of, not going by personal account. I have seen Bhavreen and her kids at these right to breathe protests year after year. She's been at it for quite some time and she actually does walk the talk. That is just as an independent person that I'm telling you. I've reported on these issues and I've seen her on the streets continuously, like I've seen Vimlendu Jha as well. Mr. Jha, like I'm saying, it's not an easy decision. This conversation is not just between what Sujata believes versus what Bhavreen believes. When I go back home, say in a place like UP, where awareness is not that much perhaps on the issue of pollution, though they're waking up to it now, even with the older generation, I have this. They'll say, "Arey, bachche ko ek to jalane do." I have to also educate my elders to say that, it's said to be auspicious, but look what it's doing. We have the data and evidence now. Let's not. But I understand that this is not a comfortable conversation, not one which goes down even when people don't want to burst crackers. A lot of times they don't have a say in the house.
Yeah, so Sonal, what we did 30 years ago, 40 years ago, or 20 years ago, we cannot be doing it today. As I said earlier, that, you could immerse flowers in Ganga or in Yamuna because these rivers were actually clean. Today, you cannot even throw, organic flowers into it because it doesn't even have oxygen to take care of that organic material in that sense. So if Delhi's air quality was 20, 25 and then it was all changasi through the year. It was okay to burst firecrackers twice, 2 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours in that sense. Nobody is talking about festivity or love or affection or God or faith or everything else. We're only talking about that right now when you have that data staring at you, with from the reports that we have of the medical fraternity that talks about the kind of mortality and morbidity impact that overall air pollution has. And overall, by the way, exactly, Ms. Pandey should know that, I perhaps appear on your channel through the year on various environmental issues, and we are not रात में हम नहीं आते, दिवाली के रात आते हैं और गायब हो जाते हैं in that sense. And anyway, let's not even get there. So we definitely need to work on all these issues, be it transport, be it stubble burning, be it construction, demolition dust, waste, and so on and so forth. But we need to acknowledge that the kind of spike that the episodic source and event called Diwali Pataka that might be an overall 7% average. It's about, saying कि 1 liter poison को आप एक पूरे के पूरे तालाब में डाल दो और 1 liter poison को आप you're just having it in one go. So this is concentration. We're talking about 20 to 30 times worse air quality that happens in those 2 hours. And why should their data be, the fact that our ICUs run out of hospitals, the fact that we're not able to breathe, aren't your eyes burning already at 210? And is the situation not going to get worse? So we need to really think about that, as our children will be happier and more faithful and full with sentiments and live longer if we, instead of firecrackers, we give them a deep, a diya, a fool, a mithai, a naya kapda. So we
Mithai,
all,
I don't know.
this is
Sugar
not a
is also
competition
sin,
of... Yeah, so, we should all understand and that, where Supreme Court fell in this trap. And I feel so unfortunate and disgusted by Supreme Court trying to say that they're trying to balance it. As in, I don't have any fear of
Actually,
contempt.
a lot of balance has
Contempt
not
should be
been
on
about
people
faith. In
who
the
did not follow the
order,
rules.
in the
So
order,
also
Mr.
we need
Jha,
to
they've
understand.
actually said that they're balancing out industry demands. So they're saying in the order that they've balanced industry
Yesterday
demands
we
with
were
what the
talking about
environmentalists have to say. They've actually
livelihood
nowhere
and
mentioned
sentiment.
religion.
No, so exactly. So, yesterday also when we were having a discussion, it was a so-called balance between industry / livelihood / sentiment / environment. But in all of this, where is health, the impact of all of this? It doesn't talk about what is this so-called industry that we're talking about, which is completely powered, 80% powered by child labor. Is the Supreme Court not aware of it? Aren't there enough SLPs already in that regard? So that's where I somewhere feel that for Supreme Court to, it's but degenerative in these times when we are going through climate change crisis, when we are going through air pollution crisis, which is perennial. Therefore, we expect our authorities and people in power, and more so in the Supreme Court, to really go strong and regulate this. And regulation does not mean making every side happy by thoda sa to karne do pollution. But what is this thoda sa karne do pollution? And Supreme Court has also erred when it came to the vehicular pollution bit. So today's topic is not that. So we all need to be actually, Ms. Pandey should also fight for the lungs like everyone is, and she should be on
Let's
the side
not
of her
isolate
children if
Ms.
she says
Pandey.
that she's
I
a
just
mother.
want to say that she's not
Ms.
the
Pandey,
only
listen,
person
all
saying
of
this.
us.
She's representing a lot of people who feel
I
like
don't have
her.
anything against
Okay, so
Ms.
let's not
Pandey
get
here. I don't
personal
have
against Ms. Pandey as well.
I'm not.
And I
I'm
want,
sorry.
yeah.
Idea,
Okay,
I'm
and
sorry. The idea was not to
Mr.
get
Jha,
personal.
yes, Mr. Jha, I want you to very quickly then this one. I want to understand what's your projection for the months ahead. My understanding was because of the flooding that took place in large parts of Punjab, because of the mechanisms and the steps that have been taken both in Punjab and Haryana now to ensure that crop burning doesn't happen, stubble burning doesn't happen. Things have improved over the years. Do you have an understanding of which way this will go this winter, 2025 winter?
So Sonal, as much as it will make some people happy that we actually gave a lot of disproportionate attention to stubble burning. Again, stubble burning is a 50-60 day phenomena. Delhi's air is bad 365 days or at least 350 days in that sense. This year, of course, we have had a long monsoon, and therefore that count perhaps would be slightly better in favor of our lungs in that sense. But in coming months, with the winter, we haven't seen the winter arrive as yet. The wind speed is getting bad in the sense in terms of reducing. And with that, as there's no projection, hope our investment of money, the amount of money that we're going to burn on firecrackers, which we invest in actual projection and understanding, and really giving that know-how, that infrastructure support to farmers.
Okay, let me fix that line with Mr. Jha there. Sujata wants to come in. Sujata ji, I want to understand this. You see, at the end of the day, the issue of firecrackers, the issue of stubble burning, the issue of winters being very bad, all of that is the top-up. The baseline pollution in Delhi is so poor, and that's got to do with our vehicles. That's got to do with the way our industries operate as well. Anybody will tell you that. We've run year after year that there were no good air days in Delhi. And, even before the winter set in, we were already 150, 200. We are about touching 300 now. This is without firecrackers. This is without stubble burning. So wouldn't you say that there needs to be, something needs to be done at a calculated level now that Delhi is with BJP, now that center is with BJP, now there needs to be the surrounding areas, the neighboring states are also BJP. Now all of that is under your belt, so to say. Isn't now the time when something concrete needs to be done and air quality needs to be made a priority? Wouldn't you say that today?
Sonal, of course, nobody disagrees to a point that we, as a country, we need to work on all this, and these are also SDG goals, which our country is committed to. But you just confirmed, and the other panelists were also confirmed that firecracker is not the only solution, because he said you also confirmed that Delhi has this air pollution problem 365 days a year. That means something else is a bigger issue, which probably because of 100 other reasons is not coming into limelight. That can be your industrial pollution, because that emits around 51% of the pollutants, like I said, 365 days, 24 hours, and all the time. But nobody talks about it because human development and modernization and economic development has a price. So we need to be focused. We need to find a solution with everything in view, because we have to make sure that the employments don't get affected. We have to make sure that the people get their livelihood. We also have to make sure that we do industrial progress, but not at the cost of the human life. That is 101%. And that is why I said the court tried to make something, someone address the root problem, not just talk about, just 1 second, I'm getting a call. Just 1 second, sorry. So the court tried to hold the ones who are accountable and address that, okay, now let's do this experiment. Let's see how much is the reduced air pollution. Because the court has asked for reports from all the control boards, the pollution control boards, that once this is over, the court will review that how has the pollution gone down compared to the last year same time period, and it will be compared. And also it has said very specifically that this is a temporary decision. This is not a long term goes for all. So in my opinion, that we whether environmentalist or not, with a person of faith or not, we have to look at with a view that what is the middle path, because we are living not in a ideal world situation. Nothing is ideal, not our lungs, neither the air, nor the water, nor the food we are drinking,
I
not
hear
the
you.
plastic boxes that everything.
Right.
There are.
Right.
So
I just want to give.
Find a middle path, and here the court looks at.
I hear you, ma'am. Yes, I hear you. I just want to give the last word to Bhavreen, since she represents a lot of worried mothers. I want to know, what's your plan of action? What are you going to do this Diwali? I've heard of this concept called pollucation that has come in, where mothers, including doctors, I know of doctors personally who have prescribed to friends to say that, listen, winter is here, Delhi is no place for your kids. Pack them up, go somewhere, because this is not a problem that can be solved. What hurts me is the fact that when it comes to air quality, water quality, etc., there is no solution that can be done by you and me. This is not a private solution department. This is a public solution that is required. So right now, with green crackers allowed, what is it that you're going to do?
Sorry, I just lost this. I don't know if you can hear me. I lost the sound.
I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just asking, what is it that you will do and you are urging mothers to do?
Yes, we are at it. I don't remember for a decade, more than a decade now, that some of the mothers who are on Diwali at home and celebrating this, we all putting together data, complaints, how to make things better. We are like the eyes and ears of the authorities. So we are working on the ground to make things better. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work. It's too huge. The whole the damage is done, and we see next morning is an apocalypse, and it's not that it lasts for hours. It starts affecting. So now you see, as of today, we are in GRAP 1. Post Diwali, we will immediately be jumping into the next level of pollution. But yes, we will continue to try. We are mothers. We cannot give up. We cannot give up on our children, their health. We are, every third child in the city has damaged lungs. We are speaking in the most polluted city of the world. I don't think there are scopes for any mistakes. No pollution is less, and no pollution is more. Everything matters. Everything matters, and we are not in a state to take decisions like this, and it's very disheartening. I will repeat that. Yeah, the court order has been super disheartening for us.
Right.
Just one
All
thing,
right.
Bhavreen, it's not just
Very
mothers,
quickly.
it's also fathers who are worried for their children.
Yes, that's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah,
We'll
sorry,
take it there.
that's symbolic, Vimlendu. I
Yes,
know.
yes.
Who can be better meaning than you, Vimlendu? You've,
Yes.
we're
Okay,
all inspired.
on that lovely note, and to have all the three panelists smiling and not fighting, it's Diwali, guys. Like, come on,
No,
let's
not
lighten
at
up the
all.
mood a little bit. Thank you so much, all three of you, for joining us and participating in this very, very important discussion. Clearly something that's been running on all our minds as well.